Okie dokie. Muses, gather with us and deliver us one vision, spoken in words of power and potency. Make us instruments of the Creator and deliver us from hesitation and doubt. Muses, gather with us and let play begin.
I'm gonna jump on his back and piggyback over there.
Alright. So you head over there, you're piggybacked on him, you go to see Colin, you see Colin is sitting up against this sort of like rubble at the, kind of in the remains of the tent, and you can see him leaning back and he's smiling at you. He says, I knew you'd come back for us. Did you find me, brother?
We did.
Oh, that's good. Thank you, Craig.
We got separated. How are you doing? You don't look so good.
I think everything's gonna be okay, he says.
I can hear the music.
All right, you feeling fine? Can we like inspect him?
Go ahead and roll a vision check.
Sure.
I want to move the goggles.
I got a 23.
Alright, so when you take a notice of Colin, you notice that he has some like major gash wound on his side, and he's like white and like covered in like blood in his lower half. Basically, he's like slumped up. His legs look like crushed, like he can't walk, and he's leaning up against, and he's got a smile on his face. He looks happy to see you, basically.
Yeah, buddy, everything's gonna be okay. You'll see your brothers soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and move the goggles up real quick.
And you lean down and you open up his goggles, and his blank eyes stare back at you as he smiles. It looks like he's passed on.
Oh no, not Colin too. No, how many of my friends are gonna die today?
And so we're gonna do once around the horn here, and that's gonna be the end of our session. So go ahead and give us your impressions here, guys.
It was a bad day. We lost our good friend Vincent, and then Colin didn't make it on us. We don't even know where the other brothers are. Probably in the tent. The Lizzies apparently are far more advanced than we thought. They can put harnesses on giant triceratops, and I don't know. I'm feeling pretty defeated right now. Over to you, Craig.
Spent so much wasted time on these stupid glow-in-the-dark shoes. Although they are a marvel of modern technology, I feel like that time wasted cost us the lives of two of my, although very short-lived, but closest friends I've had my entire life.
Don't you dare say that, Craig. Those shoes were worth it. You know it.
Were they worth two people's souls?
Yes.
Okay, and so from last session we had Blood and Salt, part 1 and part 2. Part 1 featured Constable Bippers and Effie and Alka the Huntress, and they were separated from Rollin and Sleepy Bill, and also from Craig and Lord Yennik, due to a trap that was set by Lizzie's in this sort of three-way connection hall. And so they were sent off to the thirsting rooms eventually, where they were basically starved of water until they quickly, and with not much struggle, gave in to drinking the tears of Shiigaa again and again, which caused them to begin to mutate and they were given gifts from Shiigaa, and they slowly kind of marched toward becoming Lizzies themselves. And then in our other session, we had we had Lord Yennik and Craig, who got trapped kind of towards the dwarven settlement, so they went back to check on the dwarves. see if they could enlist their help, let them know about their brother. What they found were strange footprints that led them to a eviscerated and cut in half Vincent, and shortly thereafter to a destroyed camp where they fought some Lizzies and some kind of a big crazy monster, basically an armored triceratops the Lizzies have enslaved, and from who knows where. And they couldn't find the Malin and Stalin, but they did find Colin. Unfortunately, they found him a little too late, and Colin died from injuries sustained fighting the Lizzies. And so, let's take it to you guys from what you remember from this last session before we jump into episode 10, The Wet Forge. Okay, starting with Craig.
So pretty much most of what I can remember is making some glow-in-the-dark shoes, which are very awesome.
Now that was cool.
Yeah, they're essentially just like little balls of moss that glow after kinetic energy hits or creates kinetic energy. So I tied them on my calves, and they bounce on my ankles like little clackers when I run.
You like those 90s light-up shoes, yeah.
Yeah.
The K-Swiss things, or I can't remember, BK Knights.
Yeah. So that all happened. We found Vincent cut in half in the hallway. And then the whole deal with the Triceratops. I got a cool new little teleportation power type thing I can do with the mist. And then yeah, we just beat the shit out of some Lizzies and found a dying Carlin.
And got the shit beat out of you pretty good too, if I recall.
Yes.
A two-way street there, and I think, yeah, like Craig said, he's hurting. What are your hit points at?
I mean, I think it says 3 right now. But
Right, okay. And I know that Lord Yannick almost bit the dust, was definitely availing themselves of healing magic. Alright, well that was part 2. Let's step back to part 1 with Constable Bippers. What do you recall?
We tried to fight off a whole shitload of Lizzies. We were then taken prisoner, and then assaulted damn near to death, where we just almost immediately relented and gave up after receiving a bunch of cool new mutations that don't make us exactly hot anymore, but are pretty useful. And then we met up with we got out of there, and we met up with somebody. That's where it gets easy for me.
I think...
I can fill in some
Thank
gaps.
you, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, I like Bibber said, we had this epic battle with the Lizzies. I had chosen my new skill to be to sense people's auras basically over night vision, and then we ended up really needing night vision, so that was kind of a bad
I felt bad about that one because I kind of was use the other thing, and then it just happened to, I don't know, it was kind of
and so we were captured, we had to surrender, and then Bippers said we got all these new skills, and Bippers has this glowing torso now, which is cool. And I have a really long tongue that's basically another limb, and some gills now, so I can breathe underwater. And we ran into Rollin, right? Rollin. After we escaped, or whatever. We escaped, and we tried to convince him that he was just on drugs, and we didn't have any new Lizzie features, and so then we got him to cooperate with us, and then he showed us, drew that map for us, and that's the last thing I remember.
Okay. Well, if anybody's satisfied with that, then I think we will jump in here, and we're going to return to the scene where basically we have to what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you some questions, some leading questions, and we're not going to go in turn order, but you're going to tell me sort of your turn is going to be, how did this plot point get solved? So, Craig, how did you and I want you to describe to us in vivid detail how you and Lord Yennik got past the blockage and back somewhere where you're going to hopefully reunite with these other guys.
We collected both pieces of the giant mining laser that we'd been lugging around, and that the Lizzies on top of that Triceratops were like showing off because they thought they were.
Right.
We worked together to repair that and put the two pieces together, and then using what I believe was what is last one or two pieces of somnium to kind of mine a tunnel through the giant rock that collapsed down. More so like going along the side,
Right.
just trying to connect to another tunnel rather than going like through it and whatnot.
Okay, so are you wielding the Great Wand, Craig?
Yeah.
Alright, so with one of the two remaining pieces of somnium that they've got in their cache, Craig fires up this Great Wand, cuts a big swath through the impacted section of cave, and manages to carve an opening big enough for he and Lord Yennik to pop through. And so they pop through here, and it's not long as they're traveling through the caves that they hear some chatter up ahead. And it sounds like Rollins' voice, and he is describing to the other group that's reunited what's on this map. He's saying, okay, so let me tell you what we got going on here. Basically, and pay attention here because this is important, alright? I don't remember a lot of the details, but essentially what you got going on is this is the cave, right? And this is where we are. And then it like opens up into this big area, and that's where like all the Lizzies are. It's like a big fighting pit, and there's just a mess of them in there. It's blocked by a big gate made out of some kind of heavy canvas or hide or something, and then they've got this big, like, I didn't get a good look, some kind of like big pit where they hang out, and then farther on down the line, I don't know what's there. All I know is they call it the Judgment Room. You're muted. I can't hear what you're saying, Alka.
I thought you said something about like a big treasure room or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so whenever the Lizzies get a hold of dwarf stuff, they like don't even like it or know what to do with it, so they just dump it in a big pile. I think it's somewhere in this big room here. And so you guys have some instruction on here. What is your prerogative here?
Copy this map down.
Okay. So Rollin, as he's kind of staring in, then Craig and Lord Yennik kind of reunite with the group. Everybody's back together. It's apparent that Craig and Lord Yennik, especially Lord Yennik, are a little bit battered. And yeah, go ahead and discuss your options here, guys.
So we're like, hey guys, we got some new features.
Yeah, you guys look like shit, and we're totally normal looking.
Yeah, we're. Don't be alarmed by my gills or my incredibly long tongue. Not a big deal.
Yeah. Also, I got us covered on lights. I heard tell you got some cool sort of light up shoes, which I think is great.
Oh yeah, I do a little jig.
More. I have lights now. So you can be mad at me for kind of breaking pretty early in a we don't need to discuss, but at the end of it all, with just means to an end. We got some lights.
Yeah. I would also like to say that Lord Yennik also has a pair of these glow-in-the-dark shoes. That was also something we worked on.
Oh, you guys don't need them anymore.
So, where are our shoes?
We, as you can't maybe could tell, I had a little bit of a rough time down by the old dwarf camp. Colin's dead.
Colin.
So is Vincent.
Aw,
Um,
man. Well, he was pretty old.
yeah. Probably, honestly, if it wasn't for him being cut in half, I would have thought he just got lost.
I don't mean this to sound insensitive. I'm kind of a gallows humor guy, but who do you call when an undertaker needs an undertaker, huh? Yeah.
Um,
I'm hurting as well. This is just how I deal with it.
It also may be possible that with our new Lizzie powers, we are a little less, or maybe a little insensitive now to human
what kind of powers?
compassion. I mean, what?
Totally normal, well-earned.
Totally
Sorry, I must have got. I think I got hit on the head pretty hard. All right, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So what? Okay, so what's the plan? Are we trying to find the other brothers? Are we trying to just get out of here? I mean, I don't know.
I find myself kind of drawn to this treasure room.
Yeah, I know.
Roland says
that treasure too.
Roland steps forward and he says, first of all, Roland is devastated to hear. He just got the word broken to him that
very
in a very flippant, sort of off the cuff way, and he says, "Wait, what? You mean Roland's dead?" And he's shook, and he goes to his knees, and you see him sort of, his limbs fall, his back kind of collapses, and he puts one arm kind of around Sleepy Bill, and sort of, quietly sobs in the darkness here. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Oh man.
Oh. He's having a bad time.
Yeah.
Effie leans in to sort of reinforce him, and she steps over and she's lending a kind ear, kind of patting his back, and he's going. He's doing the heavey sucks, And she says, "Listen, I'm going to take him over here and process the news." And does anybody remember what Effie's gifts were?
She's got this retractable spikes in her back. That was one of them.
That's right.
And I don't remember the second one though.
I don't either. In any case, she's definitely a little bit reptilian looking. These three all are. And
wait, Bippers, did you also have webbed feet or something?
Yes, I have webbed feet and I have webbed feet and hands.
So, they step away and sort of are powwowing to the side. And then Lord Yennik says, "Listen, some of us have got a chance of getting in and getting undercover in the Lizzie Warrens. And I'm not saying exactly why, but I think it's pretty obvious that some of us are going to be able to get through a little more easily. And I think..."
Are you saying it's because I'm really big? Is that what you're getting at?
I'm not talking about you, Craig. I'm talking about these ones that are gone all native on us here.
Oh.
Although,
yeah.
Craig, you could probably get behind just by, your mistiness, however that works now.
Yeah.
Suited to cave stealthery.
Cave.
Tell you what,
yeah.
what if you guys go straight on, and I'm talking to Alka, and I'm talking to Constable Bippers, and what if Craig provided some support to sort of mist his way in, kind of stick to the shadows, and Effie here can take us as if she was our prisoner, and we'll get in that way, and we can try and all meet up in this treasure room, in this judgment room.
That works for me.
I'm into it.
Hey, let's do it.
All right, so they decide that they're going to go up this other chamber that Rollin might have found a way through. Also, it's unclear, but Rollin has some kind of magical abilities. There was talk about that from the original session with the dwarves, and he's kind of their magic user in their group. So he might have some way to help them get further on into the tunnels. But it sounds like they're suggesting that you guys just try to hit the gate and see whether you pass, whether you can serve Lizzie realness, basically.
Well,
Cool.
okay.
Hey, Pippers, do you want this big laser thing back?
It's a good question.
Might be kind of distracting if
You
we're
know,
trying to
yeah.
put it in.
That thing was honestly kind of more of an anchor than any sort of like boon to my health here. So I'm content leaving that bad boy behind. Or you can have it. Don't matter to me.
I'll leave it behind.
I'm a web hand foot man now. I can swim around.
Oh, yeah. All this water.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
So where are each of you guys at hit points wise? And then hit us again with your gifts so we know a little bit of what you look like as kind of hybrid Lizzies right now.
I think I have 2 hit points left.
Good.
Fun. And I've got the bioluminescent chest and kind of hands, so I kind of imagine it's just sort of like a circle here with kind of like green or bluish things going up, shooting light out, and then my hands are like sort of like they're just webbed. They got webbed hands now.
I would say also you've got sort of this color of your skin has started to go more that teal blue, that Lizzie color a little bit. You're kind of, pale and sort of starting to show that in little, like, sort of like looking almost like you've got dry, cracked skin, but it's just like sort of the beginning of scales. And, yeah.
Eczema.
And how about you, Constable Bippers? Or excuse me, Alka?
I have gills now in my neck, so I can breathe underwater, and then I have like a 4-foot long tongue that I can retract. So, but yeah, it's like an extra appendage, and I also gained like the sort of aura sensor last time, so that at the beginning, so that I could like sense, if people are afraid or like if they're about to attack or like that kind of thing, I guess. But I didn't really get a chance to implement it last time yet, so we'll still see what that looks like.
That sounds cool.
And Craig, what's your plan for slipping in here since you are in your regular form, an odd-looking, bulky, but non-reptilian sort of a guy?
I'm staying as they're always in front of me. I'm keeping my eye on them at all times. And I'm just kind of like hunched over, walk around in the shadows, and like I don't really want my mist out quite yet because I don't want them to be like, I don't know. I don't want to tip them off.
Okay, so you guys have been given a heading here to get to the Warrens, and there's a tunnel out before you. It's as deep in this area as you've gone. You're not sure what to expect exactly ahead, although it was said there was a big gate of some type. And so, go ahead and give me your order here.
I'll lead the charge since I have lights.
That's what I was gonna suggest.
It seems like the best way to do it. Which I think with any sort of cave thing is now pretty much where I've been resigned. Definitely.
All right, so we got Mr. Glow up front, Constable Vippers with his shiny sort of wow like pulsating chest.
I'm gonna
And
be in the back.
Yeah, I'll follow behind Bippers and.
Oh yeah, and of course my like shirt is sort of open, like like a sexy model, but I'm weird looking, so it's not super hot, but it's utility.
Okay, and Alka's bringing up in the middle here. Alright, so y'all move through and approach you approach the gate here. Hold up. And yeah, you see Lizzie's manning this big sort of woven and stretched hide gate with 2 gate towers adjacent to it. And as you get up here and you're shining, they regard you and they scream down at you.
Who is it? What do you want? You wormlings. You look somewhat half-baked. I can't hear you. What is he saying? I don't know, I can't hear it. Sounds like garbling nonsense. Come closer, you. We can see you.
Still can't hear.
I really can't hear you, Nick.
Really?
Now I can hear
You're
you.
really close
Better-
to it. You can.
Oh.
It's so
You gotta
clear.
be closer. Like you.
You gotta basically stick the microphone in your mouth.
It's me, Scarg. Don't you remember?
Oh, there we go. All right, go ahead and roll a guile check with advantage, as you have Lizzie features.
I got a 4.
I got a what?
Wait, do I roll a d20 on that?
Yeah, so if you have advantage, go ahead and roll a d20 twice, add your guile bonus, and take the better result.
I got a 16.
All right, so the looks like one of the Lizzie brutes up on top of this kind of parapet shouts down to you, says,
Oh, you there, wormling, get inside. The fights are about to start. And who are those with you?
These are my trainees. I was put in charge of them by the other guy.
Ah, it's a little bright. Can you turn that down somehow?
Yeah, sorry. And I kind of like I actually make it go lighter, and I'm like, oh, I can't, because I assume that him. I try to blind him a little bit more with it.
Yeah. It's like, He's like, okay, well, go ahead, move through. You're hurting my eyes.
Sorry, when I get excited, it goes a lot like this. I love fights. I love fights so much.
Speaking of eyes, Bruno, hand me one of those eyes of Shiigaa. Delicious. All right, go ahead, open the gates.
and they peel back and open the gates to you.
So can we just pretend that my mutation is I'm bulky?
Well, you haven't, like, drank the tears to have a mutation.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, because I am just like a little
Oh.
bit larger than most like humans.
Yeah, I think if anybody asks, that's what we'll say.
Okay.
All right, so you guys start moving through here, and I want you guys to. So basically, as the doors open, you see there's space for Lizzie on either side, in addition to the Lizzies up on the parapets. And I want you to describe to me here how you're walking through and sort of what your move is to kind of try and keep Craig concealed.
I think we should.
I'm gonna be doing. I'm just like going with the fanfare of the fight. I'm gonna be doing some tricks and shapes with my long tongue to distract people.
Yeah,
So I'm just kind of waving that around like a banner, or ribbon. I mean.
I'm doing a lot of like whooping.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going like full Jedi. I've got a hood up. I'm just kind of like trying to blend in, but obviously not by doing it that way.
Yeah.
All right. So I want each of you guys to roll a guile check, and give me the results there.
Got a 23.
Yeah.
Or 25. Sorry.
What if you got a natural 1?
A natural one?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, so as you're stepping through here, the lizzies on the other side, they say,
Wait, what's the big one in the back? He looks funny.
and they step forward to regard you. And we're going to give you turn order to see how you respond. So, Constable Vippers.
Hi, Skarg here, new here. He got a bad batch of tears this first round. Didn't exactly work out how he wanted, just kind of made him gigantic and gross. Might have got mixed with something else. Dwarf blood, maybe. I don't know. But
What was your guile check for that?
19.
All right, so you kind of take this guy and you're feeding him his story. The other guy seems like he's kind of still peering over there. Alka, what are you going to do to this guy? Say to him whatever.
Sorry, I am Eliza. He just had a really bad allergic reaction to the tears. He's just really swollen right now. Just, we gave him something for it. We're hoping it's gonna come down, but he didn't want to miss the fight, so.
Okay. Well, get in there and maybe talk to one of the daughters. Get him fixed up. He looks awful.
I'm just gonna kind of be moaning and like shambling now at this point, just like.
All right, so you guys pass through here. You pass through the gate, and it closes behind you. And I want you all to make a vision check.
$16.
22.
I got a 9.
All right, so Craig has kind of got his hood up. He's a little bit trying not to look too conspicuous, and he's kind of paying attention more to how he's posturing himself. But as Constable Bippers and Alka move through these gates, they see that these sort of stretched hide on these doors is made of some type of skin. And given what you've seen down here and given the size, and it's hard to tell because they look like they've been stretched and salted and sort of cured. Who knows how old they are, but there's sort of sinister implications for what exactly kind of hides lent themselves to these gates, if you know what I mean. Looks like there could be, parts of slightly, yeah, anyways, that's all I'll say. And so as you move over here, you see basically past the gates there's an open section of cave, and then it opens into a much larger section of cave, on the other side of which you see a hut kind of made out of the same stretched hide material, and there's sort of a large semicircle structure, sort of a circular wall going around a natural sort of cracked and spiraling almost like sinkhole, and there's various kind of rocking outcroppings and stuff, and then you see that on the far side there's a little sort of a sluice door, sort of similar to what you saw in the Pool of the Mouth, and water is trickling down from the bottom of this sluice door and so kind of going slowly in a spiral around this open sort of natural kind of arena or pit area. And you see that a number of lizzies are sort of, walking the parapets and crawling around, picking their teeth, doing various things. And on the parapets, you see a mix of figures. The more bulky, kind of warrior-looking types, the brutes. And then you also see the lithe, sort of female, kind of sinewy-looking daughters of Shiigaa. And so go ahead and you kind of approach the mouth of this big siphon, and then as the doors close, the lizzies atop the parapet say,
Don't dally, go on. Join the other wormlings. Enter the crucible.
and what will you do?
Guess we're gonna go to the Crucible.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, and it sounds bad, but I guess we kind of have to go there if we don't want to get seen. Unless you guys want to like put a slink past those people, but that seems kind of.
I mean, I kind of want to see the fight.
Yeah,
I feel like
let's not risk blowing our cover yet.
I feel like we are the fight.
Yeah, I guess I am kind of getting that sense as well.
No.
Let's do it.
Well, I mean, we do have some pretty cool powers. Maybe we can hack this.
Yep. Still trying to remember what Crucible means. Sounds bad, but let's go.
Yep. You lead the way, Biffers.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that Craig, if there's lots of context for what a crucible is, Craig being the one with the most dwarven affinity, a crucible is a container in which you heat up ore to make it liquid, so that it can then be poured into casting things.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they're calling this place the Crucible. And anyway, so you guys kind of press forward, and you come to sort of this edge, that's sort of the edge of this big bowl, that, forms this whole kind of inner area. This is like their main fortress, and you see that, lizards are spread all around here. Does everyone feel like they got a pretty good visual of what I'm describing as far as this big sort of naturally spiraling, cracked sort of like sinkhole area?
Yeah.
All right, and so you guys get there, and then some cheers kind of rise up, and the Lizzies all around kind of stop and pay attention as one of them steps out from this hut, and she starts to speak. And when she starts to speak, I think one of you have seen or heard at least one of you from HR before. And so HR steps forward and begins to address the Lizzies. And she says to them,
Gather wormlings, listen well. Deep and deeper Shiigaa dwells, sending us her gifts of tears while dreaming of our pain and fears. Claw and tooth and scale and blood, she shapes us all like clay from mud. What is weak goes down the drain, and what is strong will fight again. For Shiigaa's mouth is never gorged until her weapon has been forged. And when the wet forge yields its tool, Shiigaa will stir within her pool.
and as she makes this pronouncement, did everybody hear that okay?
Yeah.
As she makes this pronouncement, all the Lizzies sort of cheer around, and then you see that on the far side, some of the Lizzies go to work in pulling up this sluice door, and as it does, like water, which must have been dammed on the other side, starts to shoot in, and after a few moments, starts to like fill, and this big like whirlpool sort of forms in this whole area, and is sort of churning around in there. Okay, so you guys see the tanks start to fill up, basically. And yeah, you guys are over here on the rim. And so HR points to you all and says,
Enter the forge. Dip yourself into the cold crucible.
and two Lizzies kind of come up behind you, and they like jump in and sort of start to like kind of like whirl around in here. It's like a big lazy river almost. And they're like spinning through here, kind of, yeah. So, what do you do?
I think we should try to slink around the back and not jump in. Who's in?
I don't know. I mean, HR looked right at us. I'm worried that she's going to notice if we slink around.
Well, I don't want to get in. What other option do we have here?
I don't know. You got your webbed feet.
Yeah, I mean, it. Like go on it, like it could change us even more. Maybe that's what makes us even more Lizzie. You want to take this?
I'm jumping right in.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to swim to the other side and see if I can sleuth that way and try to get closer to the treasure room.
All right, hold on just 1 second here.
We're lucky to jump in. Everyone jumps off a bridge. I do it too.
All right, so then sort of the initiative's been taken by Alka. Where are you swimming to, Alka? What's your goal here?
Well, I think Craig was actually the first one to jump in, but
Oh, Craig? Okay, then Craig.
Oh, I'm jumping in, and then I'm just gonna kind of, I guess, get thrashed around so I can find some sort of like handhold on one of these little center islands.
All right, so you jump in, and the whirl either goes sort of that way or that way. So which way are you trying to get diverted to here?
Off to the right then, or I guess down more.
Okay, so you jump in and immediately sort of get like swept down over here, and the drain hole is like basically right here
Oh, cool.
of the sort of entire room. So you see that as you start floating towards it, and yeah, so you have a chance to like kind of jump off here and get on this little isthmus if you want to do that. Roll against failure to just at least grab on there, vigor.
I got a whole 9.
All right, so with a 9, you manage to barely kind of hold on there, and you're sort of like feet sort of still sucking a little bit towards the drain there, but you've got to hold a tentative hold on that little section there. We're going to move on to Alka, I think is next.
based on the map, do we know which way would be closer to the treasure room?
Yeah, so it looks like off this way is it's unsure. Actually, you don't see any exits this way. So no, you don't know where exactly the exit is out to the treasure room. There's no clear indication.
Okay, well then I'm gonna try to go.
But if you want to be searching for that, you can make vision checks each round.
Okay, I'm gonna make a vision check then.
And I think the way that I'm going to handle this, because you don't really know where you're looking for, it's going to be kind of hot or cold. So like basically, each turn I'll tell you whether you're hotter or colder, I guess, with the vision check.
Okay, so I should move first.
Yeah, why don't you move first?
Okay, I'm gonna go the other way, and my goal is to get on the other side of that formation that Craig climbed onto. So like the opposite side.
Okay, so you jump in and sort of immediately get sucked this way. So there's kind of the big whirl going around the rim there. And you get close with one of these other Lizzies, and you see that this Lizzie is sort of like treading water in place and is making this gesture up towards HR, sort of a like, gift me, sort of like give it to me gesture. And you see HR throws down a vial containing the tears of Shiigaa, and this other Lizzie, as you're kind of brushing past them, opens up and pours some down its gullet. And then you float past it over this way. So that's how far you got with your first action. What's next?
Can I do a vision check now? See if I'm hot or cold?
Yeah, so we'll say that there's kind of 4 quadrants here. There's that cove, that cove, and then there's the hut over here.
Okay.
So tell me which one you're going to search.
The one that I'm closest to, like right in front across.
The middle one?
Middle one, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I got a 15.
You don't see any exit out through that wall area.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna just try to, I guess, tread water, or if I can, hitch on to that nearest rock formation.
All right, so roll we'll say that you roll against failure, but we'll say that you're going to hitch onto that thing, and we'll move on to Constable Bippers.
I got 22.
In Constable Bippers, you see that another Lizzie's come up behind you, and he's like moving to push you into like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go and then jump right in. where I assume I move fast as fuck through the water now that I am suited for that.
Yeah, so you're a proficient swimmer, so you're not going to have any failure checks to like move around in here. And so you can just move freely. Tell me where you're going.
I'm going to.
Eat that mic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right up to the sort of skin cover. I'm gonna try to go right up to my nearest little rock thing that's leading up to the sort of more ornate looking hut.
All right, so you climb up this rock and you look upwards towards this hut. It's kind of a gruesome spectacle. It looks like it's like kind of sewn from skin and made of bones and cord, and it's pretty macabre.
I'm mostly looking for any sort of exit out of there, much like Alka's doing here. Anything?
Yeah, make a vision check for us.
Not good. We got a solid 13.
Okay, so you see that there's a walkway behind the hut leading to something. And then within the hut, you see a char sort of dancing and sort of like, moving sort of in these swirling motions as she spins around. And every once in a while, she like draws forth another vial and throws it towards one of the Lizzies. And so you see the one nearby, and you see a lot of Lizzies. Like you're seeing like there's like kind of more variety here than you've seen in some of the other Lizzies. Like there's a lot more mutation going on with these ones. So then like basically as you're there, HR just starts to repeat her chant again, and yeah, you heard it before.
Well, I'm like well within her line of sight, right? Like I like dead.
Yeah, you're right down there below her, but she's not paying particular attention to you right now. It seems like she's kind of eyeing the whole spectacle.
Pretty well distracted. Okay, I'm gonna try and like kind of whiz past her of like as when she's doing her twirly thing. I'm gonna try to whiz.
All right, make a grace check, and I'm gonna say it's a DC 15 to time it so that you kind of go past her when she's spun around.
I got a 17.
All right, so she turns her back in one of these spins and sort of like breathes in a bunch of smoke from the fire she's got going inside of her hut, and you manage to duck past her, and she turns around and doesn't even seem to have noticed that you've given her the duck. And we're going to return to Craig clinging down here, and go ahead and tell me what you're going to do, Craig.
Well, I'm gonna keep on climbing up this rock so I don't fall into the scary sinkhole.
Okay. Make a vigor check for us.
I got a 13.
All right, so you managed to climb up, and which are you going there, or are you going up here?
Oh, right there's fine.
Okay. What's next?
And then is there anybody to the south of me? Like any Lizzies down that way? Okay, no.
No Lizzie's down that way.
Cool. Well, I'm just gonna like take cover and hide, I guess, back kind of behind this area.
All right, so you enter a sneak. Go ahead and roll for stealth. So roll a d20 and add your guile score to that, and you're now sneaking.
I got a 17.
All right, so are you just going to stay there, or are you going to work your way around?
Yeah, I'm going to work my way around a little bit.
All right, so you work your way around, and you walk past the feet of this other Lizzie. You can see that they've got a extra long, thin tail, which, like, as you go by, the tail whips overhead and, like, kind of cracks, like, whoosh, like they've got this, like, long, whip tail, basically. Yeah, that particular Lizzie does. And you see that as he cracks the whip, another Lizzie rises up from, like, the rim there, and they start fighting each other. And just like going at it, and like they're like the ones whipping at him. The other guy's got claws; he's clawing. They're like going at it, and behind them, HR is like praising up and kind of repeating her mantra. And you hear these different lines, going over. And so I'm just going to be like kind of staying those babbling. But you guys now pass your turn. from here out, and I'll interject if there's response activity.
Claw and tooth, scale and blood shapes us all like clay from mud. What is weak goes down the drain, and what is strong will fight again.
Bibbers, did you want to go?
Yeah. I'm gonna, as from my kind of perch back here, I'm gonna try to motion at my other party here in the slyest way possible. Come over this way because I think I found something.
Okay, I'm gonna say that's a guile check to try and I'm gonna give this guy nearby a chance to spot you as you're gesticulating here.
Gonna
Go.
Oh, critical 1. Fuck me.
Critical failure. Okay.
Shit.
So you start gesticulating, and as you do, this other Lizzie over there is like sees you and thinks you're calling out a threat to him, basically, like you want to like fight him in the crucible, and so he starts climbing down that platform and is sort of like, all right, let's do this, let's go. And he jumps down in the water, and he's sort of like treading water, getting ready for you, to join him in the wet forge.
I'm gonna say, no, brother. I'm dancing with the spirit of Shiigaa. But good luck to you in the fight. I wish you well. May you die well, friend.
All right, so you see him like cock his head, and then he starts laughing, and then he opens his mouth and shoots his like long kind of gecko-like tongue out towards you. He's gonna try to pull you into the water here. And as you're on the rim here, you see that there's a little walkway that leads behind the hut and to an opening in the stone. And you think you see light coming in a little bit through, like somewhere deep in that opening. And what's your defense?
14.
All right, so this Lizzie engages with you, like sticks you with its tongue, and now you guys are going to roll opposed vigor checks as he tries to pull you into the water with him.
Yay. Critical 1 again.
All right, this Lizzie rolled a 2, so he sticks you and pulls you in the water with him off the platform. And when you get near, he's going to try to give you a chomp. And so let's do opposed vigor once more as you kind of get reeled in.
There I got it. Let's see, 22.
Well, just to roll an opposed vigor. So it'll be according to your, now you're engaged. What was it?
I got a 3.
All right, so you get sucked down here, and as he goes to chomp down, you like tear the tongue away, and you guys are now just engaged in the water, kind of roiling with each other. It's a comfortable environment for you now. You realize that you feel like quite strong in the water, and you can like you're a little bit better swimmer than this guy is. So you kind of like you guys are engaged, but you're kind of swimming circles around him. All right, and who's next?
We'll pass to Alka.
Okay, so I'm assuming I caught Bipper's gesture. So I feel like he looks pretty good over there. I see that he's swimming strong. I think he's got got the edge on this guy. So I'm gonna try to make my way around them to the hut that he was gesturing to.
All right, so you can climb up with an action and get to the top of there. And as you're climbing up, this Lizzie is kind of swims down under here and shouts up at you, repeating some line from this prayer or chant that HR is doing, and sort of beckoning you to fight them. And you can see that this Lizzie has like a big like throat sac that it keeps on blowing up to like float across the surface of the water. And he's also got just like more eyes than you would expect, like 2 eyes and then 2 smaller sets of eyes underneath that, sort of like looking in different directions. Blah, blah.
I have to go to the bathroom. and I'm just gonna try to make my way towards the hut and avoid this guy.
All right, so just full movement.
Yeah.
Running, walking. What are you trying to be conspicuous? Tell me about it.
I don't wanna be like too obvious if I'm like I don't want to run there and stick out like a sore thumb, but I want to try to just like casually move over that way and just kind of like feeling the rhythm of the drums and everything and just casually make my way over to that hut.
All right, so you get over that far again, and free speech or emotions as you see Constable Lippers get sucked over and then now is roiling in the water with this other Lizzie.
What's your made-up name again, Rippers?
Sklarg?
Skorg. Go Skorg. Go Skorg. Go Skorg.
All right, Craig.
Warning him.
The two other Lizzies are fighting above you, and you see that the one takes the upper hand, pitching the one right over your head, who like lands in the water and quickly gets sucked down and like kind of like goes down the hole there. And the other one raises its hands in victory, and it catches a vial from Echar and dips it back. And you can tell this one is fresh. He doesn't appear to be injured. Takes a big swig and then sort of like trembles as he receives the gift of Shiigaa. And he's a pretty run-of-the-mill looking Lizzie until he takes this thing, and then you see his back sort of like arch, and he like starts to grow like a big turtle shell on his back, and you can see he sort of like gets down on all fours and sort of like gets inside of his shell for the first time. And anyways, it's your turn, Craig.
Well, I'm gonna use that as an opportunity to just grab that turtle shell and chuck him into the sinkhole.
All right, make a engagement roll here.
Even if I'm sneaking?
Oh, you're sneaking. So then I think you don't have to engage. It's a sneak attack, so then we just roll opposed vigors now.
Okay.
I have that page here. I could consult it real quick. Oh, I did. Never mind.
If I can get my dice bag open. Alright. I got a 3.
Okay. Okay. Alright, and this guy got a 1. So, you, as he gets all turtle shelled up, you turn and throw him. And where are you trying to throw him?
Into the whirlpool hole where the other guy just went.
Alright, so you throw him down this hole. He splashes and sort of like his arms pop back out, and I'm going to give him a chance to swim up to here. He's going to roll vigor check, and he fails and just like spins and gets like sucked down. And so it's your action again.
I'm going to go back to hiding behind this rock.
Okay. And we go return to Constable Bippers.
All right. Well, I
Gorged till her weapon has been forged. When the wet forge yields its tool, Shiigaa will stir within her pool.
as I see, I'm fighting with the guy down here. I'm gonna take out my scimitar in the water and try to slice him and dice him. I'm gonna get a bunch of cuts on him. I'm gonna try to cut his legs off.
Get him, Leonardo.
Get his little legs off.
Go ahead and roll an opposed vigor here.
4.
All right, he rolled a 2, so you successfully strike and deal damage. Describe your attack.
I'm kind of, with one arm, I'm kind of swimming like this with my little patty feet kind of going back around like that. I pull out my knife. I just go underneath him in the water, and then I kind of come up on top of him, and I swing, get off his other leg, and then swim to face him like a man.
So it's kind of a strange shaped scimitar, and you're starting to realize that it seems to be designed to fight underwater. Like, it moves really well through the water. It's got good hydrodynamics. You've got another attack if you want it.
Yeah, now that I'm looking him straight in the eyes, I'm going to cut his ugly ass head off.
All right, let's roll opposed vigor again. I got a 2. You got a 3?
Yep.
Okay, so you slice him for another go, and go ahead and give us your finishing move.
I'm just gonna kind of sort of in the same way, just kind of do like a little twirl, and just to chop his head off. And I assume it kind of flies up. For a second there, tons of bloody water, chum everywhere. You know, the works.
And there's a brief sort of boil of blood, and then the various parts get washed. The head goes down this way, the body flushes down that way, and before long it's gone. And this other Lizzie is like nearby, and you're looking at it. It's got these like long, sort of like jagged, like mouthful of needle-like teeth. It's like going, ah, ah, ah. It's like laughing, and it swims towards you to engage with you. And above you see a Char, the priestess, the daughter of Shiigaa. She regards you, and as she's doing her chant and her turn, she like flicks out her wrist, and a vial shoots out towards you.
I'm gonna grab it and be like, and sort of put it in my pocket for later, or sort of, yeah.
She sees you. I'm gonna see if she sees you doing this. Hold on. Alright, she misses. She doesn't see that this happens, so she doesn't regard you. And go ahead and pass your turn.
We'll pass to Alka.
Okay, so while HR is kind of enamored with Bippers, I'm gonna see if I could kind of sneak past her to that light in the hut.
Alright, so you're trying to go around the hut or into the hut?
I guess I don't know exactly where the light.
That was around the side to
yeah,
the
then
one
I'm gonna
side.
go around the side. Is my goal.
Okay. So again, roll a grace check against a 15 to hit this sequence right.
Okay. Ooh, I got 23.
All right. So you managed to duck around her, and you managed to get up there. Sort of, you can see the entryway now.
Okay. Cool.
Around the corner. And oh yeah, you got another action. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go for it. Can I just go inside?
Yeah. You gonna run?
Sure. I'll run inside.
All right. So you run around the corner. You run around the corner and you dip into this entryway, and you take a few steps before you just like run flat out into a big like muscled chest. Looks like one of the Lizzie's brutes, one that they call Bruner. And he steps forward. He's got this big shovel head, you know, big flat, broad, sort of like shark bill head. And he pushes forward. He says, "Where do you think you're going?"
To the bathroom.
He looks like, what are you talking about? He has no reaction for a second here. He's giving you another chance to justify what you're doing.
HR needed more vials to give to the fighters, so I'm going to fetch those for her.
Alright, roll a guile check.
Okay. Critical fail.
Alright, he, with like no words, he just like snarls, and he says under his breath, he's just like, "Wormling." And he like kind of puts out a, he's trying to engage with you. Are you going to accept or resist?
That's a big dude. I don't know. I would like to resist.
Alright, so you guys are he's gonna roll against your defense. Does a 15, how does that do with you? What's your, defense score?
Oh, my defense score is 14.
Alright, so he does engage with you, and he is gonna roll opposed vigor to grab you and throw you into the pool here.
Damn it.
He got a 1.
Okay. I got a 4.
Alright, so you managed to resist, but you guys are now engaged and sort of having a little pizzle here. And we'll go back to Constable Bippers. Bippers, this other one is swimming towards you, seeks to engage with you. Do you accept?
I do not. I need to get to that treasure. I don't got time for this guy. I don't want HR. I'm trying to fly under the radar of HR, much like I do in real life.
So this guy coming towards you with a big mouthful of needly teeth rolled a critical hit, and so he hits and grabs on and bites you in the shoulder and does a point of vigor damage to you, or not vigor damage, just a point of damage.
Okay. Well, I'm going to attempt to swim under him and impale him with my scimitar.
Okay, so roll an opposed vigor check. 1. Alright, so you hit once, slashing with your scimitar. He's got another action, and he's going to try to bite at you again. That's a 1.
4.
Alright, he does not succeed. Your attack.
I'm gonna try to swim under him again, and then stab the same wound even harder, making a bigger hole in his body.
Okay. What's your roll?
1.
Alright, he rolled a 4, so you missed. You guys are still kind of tangled up here together. And as you're kind of going at him, you guys drift a little bit farther this way. Alright, return to Craig. What's the scoop, Craig?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm gonna climb up top of that little island there, and then I'm gonna taunt and challenge HR. I'm gonna point at her. HR, I challenge you.
Okay, HR turns to regard you, and what is your... Do you have a... You're just wanting her to fight you. That's your desired effect?
Yeah, and I've got that one taunt thing. I shit talk.
Oh, the call out, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
are you using that ability?
Yeah, I'm not ready for
Alright,
it,
so
but
give
I
us
guess
your
we'll see
shit
what
talk then.
happens.
Give us your call out. Give us a little more complete version of that.
HR, your dancing skills are great, but how's your fighting? You dumb lizard people.
She, kind of turns to regard you, and then she starts stepping forward from her hut and, moves down to here. And then you see that she raises a vial, and she raises another vial, and she pops them both off, and she tosses one of them to you, and then she drinks the first one. Are you going to drink the vial, or are you going to... What is your prerogative there?
I'm not gonna drink the vial.
What are you going to do?
I would like to because with the whirlpool, right, there's already kind of some mist floating around in the air, just kind of water particles and everything, right?
Yeah.
I just want to create the biggest foggy mess I can.
Okay, so you're just creating a big mist around you.
Yeah.
Alright, so as you're doing this, I'm gonna see what her gift is here. Alright, so you see her take down this you see her take down this potion, and then she sort of reels backwards, goes down to her knees, and you can see her legs kind of buckle, and kind of her pelvic joints pop out of their sockets and sort of rearrange. And suddenly she's got these really beefy hind kind of legs that bend inward, and you see her as the mist forms, she jumps and just whoosh, flies through the air like a frog on a lily pad.
Oh, God.
And lands. She's just up in the air right now. She's just midair, and as you're kind of enshrouding yourself in fog here, and I guess I'm just going to represent that with some of these little smoky puffs.
Yeah.
And you got another action.
Okay. I'm
Or
gonna
no,
try
you
to...
kind of did the call out. And
Yeah, that's
fog.
fine.
Yeah, I think your turn's done. All right, so you're fogged up here, and she's flying somewhere through the air right now. Whose turn is it?
I think mine.
Probably. Whose? Alka. Go ahead and
no.
pass the turn, Craig. You tell me.
Yeah, it can be Peppers, that's fine.
Okay. You
Okay.
guys are roiling through as you pull along in the whirlpool here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to just slice this guy in half. I'm gonna go underneath him. I'm gonna whip around and try to slice him right down the middle.
So is your intention just to like stay engaged and attack this turn?
Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
We'll roll. You get to start the attack. You'll attack, then he'll attack, then you attack, then he attack, and we'll see how this resolves. So you're rolling on him. I got a 3.
I got a 3.
All right, so that's a triggers a special attack. If you don't have any special attacks, go ahead and like take one based around your scimitar, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna swim underneath him in the water, hold my scimitar to my stomach, and then attempt to like sort of make myself like a turbine, and spin around, slicing him up.
All right, so you go down underwater, and he turns to regard you. And as you start to spin through the water, your chest starts to glow, and you form this like glowing, vortex, and you just like kind of drill through him, and what's left of him just sort of washes down through here. And as his corpse goes in, you see that this Lizzie like kind of is like floating, with his big throat sac, and sort of like deflates and dives underwater, and then pops up more near to you. You've got another action.
Okay. Yeah, I'm done trying to fight with these guys. I'm gonna try to swim over as fast as possible to sort of the side of the hut where old boy big boy is.
That middle hut?
No, the one where I was just at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you swim up and jump out of there, and you're in that little alcove there now.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Go ahead and pass it.
And we'll pass to Craig.
I want to pass it to Alka.
Shoot.
Okay, I guess so. I'm engaged with this guy, so I'm gonna try to use my long, strong tongue to just choke him out.
Okay, let's roll opposed vigor. And this guy is bigger and stronger than some of the other ones you've seen. He's got a high vigor score.
So I'm rolling my vigor die.
Yep.
Okay, I got 2.
All right, he got a 6.
Oh,
So
okay.
he manages to fight off your tongue for now. Now he's gonna attack at you. That's a 3.
I got a 1.
All right, so he grabs you, and he's going to first just like try to like crush you a little bit with his big like mitt, and so he does 1 point of vigor damage there. And then you've got a chance to attack him before he attacks you again.
1 point of vigor damage, like I take off
Just
my
a
vigor?
hit point. Just a hit point.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then I'm just gonna try to use my staff to just like knock him into the water.
Okay.
Just like make his try to hit the like back of the knees so the legs buckle or something.
All right.
So what do I have to roll for?
Roll opposed vigor.
I got a 2.
All right, he got a 1. So as you're there being crushed by him, you whip your staff around, and he buckles. And because he's holding you, you both fall into the water here and get separated. You're kind of like splashed in there now. And we return to. It's going to go to Craig. Craig, you're there, kind of surrounded by mist, and you hear a thud nearby. Roll a guile for me.
Do I get any kind of advantage because there might be in my fog and I can kind of sense?
Yes, I'm going to give you... You're going to be able to sense it on second thought. So I'm just going to continue with what I had here. But HR touches down. Like, right behind you, basically.
Okay.
Inside your fog here. And she looks up at you and just like screams at you and says, "You have spurned the gift of Shiigaa. You will die."
I have gifts of my own, and I'd like to try to hide back, like kind of fade back into the mist.
All right, yeah. So where are you gonna try to like? You're gonna use Misty Step?
No, I'm just gonna try to like
Oh,
just use the cover of like the fog to just kind of like jump off to the right or whatever. Not
Okay,
like
I see.
off, but yeah.
in that case, make a guile check.
Okay. I got a 13.
Okay, she's gonna roll vision against that. She rolled pretty poorly. So tell me where you're trying to fade into. Either of these little fog clouds?
Yeah, just kind of the one right next to me for the most part.
Okay, so you just kind of like get concealed in the fog there.
And then,
Sort of like keep on misting up.
yeah, and I just like to kind of wait and get ready to like, if she gets close enough, I'm gonna try to do a sneak attack on her. So I'm just gonna kind of like hold my action, I guess.
All right, so she is going to. What did you get for your roll there? Your guile roll that you just made? It was a 13 or what?
Yeah, I got a 13.
All right, she's going to try and peer through and find you basically. She jumps up here and sort of like whips around in this thing, but doesn't find you then. And yeah, she's going to kind of scream in frustration, and then she jumps again. Boing! She like uses her big hind legs and jumps up, and you don't see where she goes.
Okay.
You have another action.
It's no, I'm just gonna kind of hang out in the fog and wait for her to land.
All right, go ahead and pass it.
Bippers.
Peppers, you see these two plunge over the side and back into the water, and they sort of start floating past you here.
Okay. Is it possible to do a sneak attack on big guy there? As he's kind of
yeah, I'd say so. So we'll give you a chance to go into stealth now. So use an action for that and roll your stealth score. So d20 plus your guile.
critical 1. So total, I got a 5.
All right, so you've got a 5. He is going to attempt to spot you as he comes by, and he spots you, and so you've got another action.
I'm gonna try to jump in and assist Alka in fighting this guy. That's what I do. I'm good in water.
All right, so are you going to engage with this big dude?
Yep.
All right, he sees you coming in, and he looks at you with disdain, like you're sort of, despite his appearance, he thinks you're very ugly to look at. And so go ahead and roll opposed vigor with this guy.
2.
2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he rolled a 1. So go ahead and give me your attack on him.
I'm gonna swim under him and with your tried and true leg chop.
All right, so you give a good meaty chop into his like big kind of flippered thigh, and he like roars out, and like his big kind of shark mouth like ah like opens up and gargles and sort of gets some water into it, and you see that in response to that he swims backwards away from you, and you see that he pulls out one of the vials of Shiigaa and downs that and heals himself. And now it is, I think it's going to be Alka's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna like swim underwater with my gills and try to like drag him down.
All right, so he accepts your engagement. Go oppose vigor with him.
I got a 4.
He also got a 4, so you win that engagement. Tell me your attack.
So my goal is, I guess I don't know if he has gills, so this might be a poor attempt. But my goal was kind of try to like hold him under the water and like hopefully he would drown, but I guess he might have gills, so that might not work out.
All right, so you pull him down a ways. You guys are now submerged, and it looks like he does, in fact, have gills, but he is, like, pulling against you, but you guys are now under the water, and it appears that maybe he can't see as well under the water, because he looks like he's, you know, is kind of squinting and stuff. You guys are down there engaged together. He's going to attempt to just, like, kind of crush at you again. Rolls a 1.
I got a 2.
Okay, so you resist. You got another attack on him if you want it.
Okay, well, maybe I'm, let me see here. I guess I'm gonna try to, like, use my staff to, like, put him in a chokehold or under the water.
All right, go for it.
Okay, so I still am doing the D4.
Yep.
Okay, I got a 2.
All right, he also got a 2, so that is a tie for a special attack. And so you start choking him with the thing and pressing against him, and it's doing. You can tell that it's like doing some damage to him. He's starting to lose his air. You're kind of choking his gills up. And I'm gonna dip back to here where Shiigaa, not Shiigaa, but Echar, like kind of lands back here, like boom, and from her jump, and she screams at those behind her, and she's continuing to say her chant and motion to them, and they sort of collect around her and start to swim towards this misty steppe area. And it is Craig's turn.
Can I find a rock big enough to chuck at her where I'm at?
Yes.
I want to do that. And I want to throw a rock at her.
Alright, so you step out from the mist here, reveal yourself somewhat as you pitch a rock. So roll a grace d20 to target her.
Ooh, I got a 21.
Alright, so that is going to target, so let's roll opposed. Your vigor, her grace.
Got a 2.
Alright, she got a 4.
Oof.
So she dodges the rock as you throw it, and as she do this, she jumps, boom, and like lands in front of you there, but her actions are spent. You've got another action.
Oh, I'm gonna punch her. Right in the big old face.
She is choosing to engage with you, so let's do opposed vigor here.
Another 2.
Another 4.
Ugh.
And go ahead and pass it off.
Alright, Bippers.
Alright, and as you pass, these guys start crawling up here and swarming the rock. And we return to Bippers over here.
All right. As Alka is, kind of holding Homeboy in his place there, I'm gonna try to get a good go at him while she's doing that.
All right. He can't resist engaging with you since he's engaged with her, and so go ahead and just roll opposed vigor.
1.
He got a 3. You got another chance.
4.
5. So he managed to successfully defend himself there, kicking around. And you see he's choking, but you see he pops another vial, and he sort of like shoves it like in his mouth and just like eats the whole vial, just like crunches it down. And you see he starts to convulse, and all of a sudden like the space around his gills sort of changes. And where there was previously 2 slits, there's now sort of these like 2 sort of circular membranes, and he's going to struggle against you to raise up to the surface, Alka. So that's a 2 on the vigor check. What do you get?
Okay, so I'm okay. 3.
Okay, and he's gonna try again. 5 this time.
Well, I'm rolling a d4, so there's no way I can.
Alright, so he bursts from you and he gets to the surface, and you see him rear his head back to open his mouth, and then he like closes it, and then all of a sudden, like he's got these two membranes, these two like sound producing membranes, and he produces this really intensely loud sort of like croaking noise, and it just like deafens you. And so I want you to go ahead, and he's gonna roll against your guile and try to do sonic damage to you here. So roll based on your guile dice.
Got a 4.
All right, he got a 3. So basically, he kind of this like pattern goes through the water, like sort of vibrations in a circle around him, and sort of like hits. And he's gonna roll to try and do some sonic damage to you as well, Bippers. Rolls a 1 though, so just roll higher than a 1.
4.
All right, so he's kind of like pushes you guys back a little bit with this sonic thing, but it doesn't damage you. And so he's doing this big, obnoxious, like vibrating kind of speaker, like thing, big dubstep drop, basically. So who's up?
Craig?
Yeah, we'll do Craig's been a bit for him.
Craig, they're all climbing up towards you, and Shiigaa is there. You see she is going to kind of raise her hands and try to make a slash at you with both. So that's a 4.
5.
Okay, and that's a 5.
Ooh, I got a 1.
All right, so she scratches you for a point of damage, and now it's yours.
Can I want to disengage,
Okay.
and then I want to Misty Step over to the hut.
To the hut.
Yeah.
That's going to be the extent of your reach, but you can make it. So you're going to have to use one action to shoot your mist out, and then another action to step. So it's going to be your whole turn.
Yep, that's fine.
But you like shoot your mist out, and you blip like over there.
Cool.
All right, and the rest of them kind of like clamber in response, and you see that she starts doling out the tears to these ones, and they're all drinking back and mutating in a little party over there. And you can hear that they're all chanting now, the same chant.
I'm gonna.
What is weak goes down the drain. What is strong will fight again. Shiigaa's mouth is never gorged until her weapon has been forged.
Yeah, I'm gonna look
And,
down to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna look down to Alka and Bippers and be like, what's taking so long? Let's go get the treasure.
There's like super obnoxious, ear-splitting, like croaking noise coming at you.
Ugh. Hate dubstep.
I'm gonna scream back up at Craig. He's very strong.
I'm trying to think of what I could do with those stupid sound orifices. I just don't have a lot at my disposal here.
He's gonna shoot a blast out at each of you guys. Roll guile in defense here as your ears are getting pummeled, and it's also kind of pushing you away, like through the vibrations of the water.
I got a 5.
I got a 1.
He also got a 1, so you guys are both okay. You guys can both take an action here. You're all kind of in the mix together.
Okay, at this point, I think I'm just gonna try to swim away from him and get up the rock because I feel like I'm not really a match for this guy.
Over here?
Yeah.
All right. So make a check to swim over there. Figure or Grace.
I got a 12.
All right. So you managed to get over here, and you're going to scale the rock and join Craig?
Yes.
All right. He takes a chomp at you as you're going by. Opposed vigor. He got a 5.
I got a 4, so I either.
All right. So he bites you on your way out for a point of damage, but you climb up here and join Craig.
Okay, I got 1 hit point left, guys.
And Constable Bippers.
Yeah, I'm also gonna get the hell out of here. I'm gonna try to sort of dive under the water and then propel out to end up where they are, and hopefully avoid Croakman.
Yeah, so you can easily get wherever you're going. Where are you trying to climb out? Oh, you're just trying to jump out of the water.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like flip her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do a vigor check for that against a 12. Since you've got your flippers. Suspense. Alright, so you shoot out of the water, chest aglow, and land next to Alka there. And Alka and Kippers, you guys both have another action here. Or no, you guys both expended them, never mind.
Yeah.
And so then we'll return to you, Craig.
Well, that was really cool. Good job, Bippers. And then I'm sprinting down the hallway to go find some treasure. Hopefully find something that we can use to kill all these lizards.
Alright, so you shoot around this way, whang, and as you're going around this hut, it really, like, takes hold, the idea that, like, there's a mix of, like, skinned creatures in this, that form this hut, and Bruner screams out, he says, "HR! Brrr! They're going through the betrayer's hut! Brrr!" And HR in response jumps and like lands like on the roof of the hut and is like scrambling over it. Yeah. And so Craig, you're dirting for that tunnel?
Yeah.
All right, so you run around the tunnel and you enter the open tunnel, and there's light sort of somewhere down on the other end of it. So you effectively escape the room here.
Cool. Alka?
Okay, I am also gonna try to escape the room because HR looks fucking pissed. So what do I need to roll to get out of here?
You just run there, and she's going to try to pounce down and grab you before you get a chance to do it, so you guys are going to roll opposed grace.
Classic. Got a 1.
Alright. So, as you run the corner, she jumps down from the rim of this and stands between you and the hallway, and she seeks to engage with you.
Ah, jeez, I couldn't get the big guy. How am I gonna fight off HR? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to get out my firebrand and try to cut this bitch.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna take a swing at her.
Alright, so, and I'm going to bring up, because I have them here, the rules for the polearms, rather. So, polearms can reach enemies in near range, but have a -2 against enemies in close range. So, when a combatant moves into a space threatened by a polearm wielder, that wielder has the option of a free engagement attempt. So basically, because it's a big, long weapon, you will have a -2 penalty to engage with her up close, but we're still going to have damage bonuses if you hit after heating it up.
Okay.
So, you're going to engage with her then.
Yeah, I mean, she's in my way.
Alright, so she is swinging claws at you, and you are swinging firebrand. Opposed vigor checks.
Got a 4.
Alright, she got a 2. So you swing and firebrand lights up. Ching, first cut. Her wound is cauterized and she screams out in pain, but she presses forward. So you guys have another opposed vigor check. And this time firebrand is hot. So go ahead.
I got another 4.
Alright, she also got a 2. So this time it's like glowing hot, and you slice her again for 2 points of damage, and you basically cut off her left hand at the wrist, and she screams and jumps and deposits herself over here.
Yes.
And you can see her downing another vial of the tears of Shiigaa. And so we return to Constable Vippers.
Yeah, I would really like to make my way around that hut.
All right, so you run and enter the hallway, and boom, you're there chasing after Craig, and Alka is soon to follow, and you guys leave the room with what sounds like Bruner bellowing behind you, and the kind of cacophonous sound is filling the halls. Like a bad car alarm. And what do you do? We'll go to the top of the order with Craig.
I keep on running down the hallway. I think at one point I do look back to see if my friends make it. I think I might wait for them in the tunnel and then we like run together. And then yeah, I guess I'll be leading the charge, just seeing what we're gonna find later on down the road.
Okay, so you guys emerge into a hallway, and you're going through, and there's a little bit of light kind of bouncing around at the end of the area. As you're moving down, it opens up a bit, and you can see that just around the corner is where some of this light's coming from, but amassed in that corner is a big pile of discarded items. Looks like stuff previously used or owned by the dwarves, and wherever they may be. And so I want you guys to rummage through this pile, and you can each pull out 2 items that you find in the pile, and go ahead and tell me now what those items are. And of course I'm gonna have license to modify or negate it, but yeah, anyways.
Okay.
But we'll go down and we'll each do one, and then we'll take a circle. So Craig, what ditched item do you find? It doesn't necessarily have to be dwarven, but probably was owned by dwarves. As you rummage around there, you find something that interests you.
Can I find like a spiked gauntlet?
Yes. So you find some reinforced sort of, metal gauntlet and bracer, and it's got a big sort of chipping edge. It looks like it might have been used as someone's particular tool to shape bricks with. So it's sort of a wedge hammer gauntlet thing.
Awesome.
And then Constable Bippers, what do you find in there?
I think I found a bag of somnium.
Okay, we find a little baggie full of somnium, and inside it are 3 somnium pieces.
And we're back in somnium business.
And Alka, what do you find as your first object?
I found a hard hat with like a light on it.
All right, so you find a dwarven mining helmet, and it's got a little reservoir that looks like it accepts. It's got a little like reservoir for fuel, and it's got a little extra fuel canister on the side, so you can turn it on and spark it, and it'll like have a little filament. So yeah, you got your hard hat now. Add that to your character sheet. Craig, what's the second object you find?
I think I want a crossbow.
All right, so you find a dwarven crossbow and some bolts. You have, let's say, you managed to scrounge up 9 bolts for the crossbow. And this is going to be an action to load and an action to fire kind of a weapon, unless you got a rapid reload ability. Constable Bippers.
I found a new chest plate of armor that is oddly enough tailored around my lights. Like that was just...
So yeah, there's this destroyed breastplate that looks like it was kind of strangely repaired with this kind of a grate piece that was riveted onto it. So it's still got a good amount of protection, but it's sort of like, metal mesh around the chest, and like your little light can kind of shine out from there. And so add 1 to your defense score with this object. And Alka.
I found like a small pickaxe, dwarf size.
Okay, so you have found a short arm, or a long arm, yeah, short arm pickaxe. And yeah, we'll say that it does double damage on critical. So if you roll a 20 when you're seeking to engage, you'll do 2 points of damage. Yeah. And so you guys continue on into this hallway, I'm presuming. You managed to grab some of the stuff up, but you can still hear, sounds like the sound of Bruner's croaking is sort of faded in the background. Maybe they're sort of massing together to come and find you. Are you going to continue down the hallway?
I think we should.
Yeah, you don't want to make like a last stand, try to fight him in the choke point of the tunnel.
Well, I have to put away my firebrand because I don't have enough hit points to hold that for a sustained amount of time. So
That's all right.
I'm pretty damaged. I don't know if I can
If
take
you,
it.
if you swing that again, it's going to be good damage, but it's going to hurt you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have 1 HP left. I think we might want a GTFO.
Yeah, alright, let's keep running then.
I'm
All
turning
right.
on my lamp though.
I have light!
You run down this hallway, and as you're going, you turn out into this huge room. And, pardon me. Where is it? Here it is. And you see a big keystone hole through the ceiling that beams down through this room. It's the first like natural light you've seen in quite a while, actually. And at first, it's a little bit like, you know, dazzling to you and kind of, you know, whatever. But basically, it forms this very concentrated beam, which lights up this big slab of stone. And you're inferring that this is what they were talking about when they were talking about the Judgment Stone. Or there was something you heard whispered about that. But anyways, and I want you all to... and so then right nearby you see the forms of 2 dwarves, Malin and Stalin, tied up near this beam of light, and you see several cages with Lizzie's trapped inside, also just outside the periphery of this beam. And I want you guys to each have a reaction, and then we're going to flip to another scene here.
I know this looks ominous. Maybe we should let those guys out.
Stalin, I can't believe it's you. I haven't seen you in so long. How are you guys?
Why are there so many Lizzies in these cages? What's going on here?
All right, and with that, we are going to conclude episode 10, The Wet Forge, and pause recording.